Hello, good morning, and welcome back to the Circuito de Jerez Ángel Nieto. It's round one, but race two of Red Bull Rookies Cup in 2026. What an opener we had here under the Spanish sunshine, and we're waiting to get ready for race two coming up very shortly. But first, let's have a look at the crack of a race we had yesterday. Roll the highlights. These are the highlights from Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup 2026 Race 1, and it was an absolute cracking start from the number 69 Berhoza into the whole shot in these wet but somewhat mixed conditions. From 8th on the grid, it came through Beñat Fernandez. We had one faller in the form of Mario Landa, the Colombian rider, but it was all about, for the win, Beñat Fernandez versus Fernando Berhoza. A game of cat and mouse throughout the 14 laps, as Christian Daniel came from the back of the grid in the wet conditions towards 6th place at the finish, fighting the likes of Gander Ramadipa and Luca Agostinelli. This was the final corner of Beñat Fernandez, taking it up the inside of Fernando Berhoza, easing it round the final turn, and across the line he came to take his first victory of the season. He kicks off Rookies Cup 2026 with a bang.
Well, it was a crazy race. I pushed a lot be in the front, and I in big one of the race, but I destroyed the rear tire, and in the last corner Beñat overtake me, but well, P2 in my first race in the Red Bull Rookies Cup sounds good.
I had a lot of speed coming out this turn, and well, I did this like almost all the laps. I feel like I had a plus on this place, so yeah, I just go for it. I saw he closed the door, no, but I was not getting, like, if it was necessary I would go into the grass to overtake, and yeah, it was all or nothing, no. I had it clear. I said, okay, I'm going to overtake this guy on this point, do a block pass, and then go out and win. And well, it was perfect. So I'm happy.
Ooh, I can actually show you. Yeah. So on my helmet, I've got multiple different things. So at the back of the helmet, I've got the English flag with smooth Sully and a little cross through Manic Mounsey, because I like to stay smooth. I need to kind of stay concentrated and build my way through and flow. But I also have Manic Mounsey crossed out because I used to be quite crazy, do erratic things and make a lot of mistakes. And then if we flip it to the front, I've got my Jamaican heritage flag on the front of the helmet, which is the side of my mum's side of the family, as I love Jamaica.
Well, I designed this helmet because I like the colours pink and obviously blue. It's got the stars for Australia, and also this blue represents Australia. I've got my sponsor up the top, and at the back I've got there's my logo with my dog on there.
But I love it, you know, I like it. I have Borja in here, my friend, who passed away last year, and yeah, it's good colors, good brand, safe, so yeah, I love it.
And I think it just really shows your personality, you as a person, and kind of adds a bit of custom tinge of yourself, and kind of, instead of it just being pure professional, it also has a bit more personal, in-depth experience to it, if that makes sense.
When you take it to your head and you go to the racetrack, you have to feel like safe, and you have to trust, not just a helmet but any other thing, gloves, boots. So this is why it's really good to race in the Rookies Cup, because we are in the best things and best ladders, best helmets, and yeah, we are safe.
Well, there we have it, 26 different riders, 26 very different helmet designs. And thank goodness they all put their own personal touches on them, because it's just about the only thing that me and Peter can use to distinguish who is who when they're all fighting in big packs on track when we're commentating. Speaking of which, time to go racing. Here, round one, race two at the Circuito de Jerez Ángel Nieto. What a race we had yesterday. I can't wait for what's to come today.
So an absolutely beautiful day. What a change from yesterday, Matt. Very, very different indeed.
Yeah, absolutely cracking day we have here. How many fans are already in the hillsides around the circuit as well? What a special event the Circuito de Jerez is, and of course the start of our 20th season of Rookies Cup. Complete contrast to yesterday, but I cannot wait for today, Peter, eh?
No, that's right. And just the little wind turbines going there and the anemometer there measuring wind speed for people at the track so they know which direction and how fast it's blowing.
And look at that crowd. That must be super special for our rookies who are already on the grid, having done their sighting laps to see, coming round, ready to start the race. If they weren't feeling nervous already, they certainly will be now. But Peter, already down on the grid, we actually have Dominica standing by to chat to someone very, very special indeed. The person that won the very first Red Bull Rookies Cup all the way back in 2007. Do you remember his name?
Joe and something?
Johann Zarco, eh? Yeah, so we absolutely cracking to hear from him and some words of wisdom. Take it away, Dominica.
Johann Zarco, it's so good to have you here on the grid before our race start, and you won in 2007 the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup. So please tell us, do you have a favorite memory from the Rookies Cup back in the day?
So it's 20 years ago. I need to think a bit about it. And but it's anyway fantastic to still be here and still compete at a very high level. But what I can remember from the Red Bull Rookies Cup in 2007, our best memory, I think it was my second victory in Czech Republic, in Brno. It's where I took the lead of the championship, and then I kept this lead till the end of the season, and I felt very strong after Czech Republic race. So yeah, this is one of the best memory from August 2007 till the end. That was quite amazing.
And before the race starts, one quick advice to all the rookies for the season?
I think just stay very focused in the right moment when you're on the track. Try to extract everything what you can on every corner, and think always that there is always a way you can improve yourself. Try to see in a different way the corner. There is always a solution you can find. It's easier to say than do it, but that may be the biggest advice I can say, to keep growing for all the years that they will do racing.
Thank you so much for your support, and all the best of luck in your race.
Merci beaucoup. Bye.
Yeah, so great to see Johann here, and so great to you know, of course he won the French Grand Prix in the Wet in Le Mans last year, and it's absolutely fantastic to see him still right at the top. And interestingly, Lorenzo Savadori, who he battled back for the Cup in 2007, and it was Lorenzo who actually won the very first Rookies Cup race in Jerez in 2007. He is also still racing, of course, and he's an Aprilia test rider and racing this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just rookies throughout the MotoGP paddock these days. It's been such a roaring success these last 2 decades, and this is the next generation. Starting from pole position here today, we have Carlos Cano from Fernando Bajosa, who got second place yesterday. David Acosta starts from third, ahead of Singapong on the podium yesterday. Marulanda starts from fifth, Borg sixth, Carpushin, Fernandez, Gonzalez, Pugliese, Tinez and Mounsey are your top 12. Yesterday, Peter, though, what a race we had from Beñat Fernandez. He starts from 8th position on the grid, as I mentioned, though. Big questions for him. He's had 2 wins in the wet so far in Rookies Cup. Last year in Le Mans, yesterday here in Jerez. Can he do it here in the dry, do you think?
Well, yeah, talking to him yesterday after the race, I said, look, you know, you didn't star in qualifying. You're coming off the 3rd row of the grid. Have you still got something to find? He said, well, today in the dry, I think it's going to be all about tyres, he said. You know, it's going to be cold tomorrow morning. We know that in the cold track, temperatures really rip up the tyres. So it's a question of looking after those tyres and making sure you've got something to race with at the end of the race, not going blindly fast right from the start. So he's going to play a tactical race, I think.
And as you pointed out earlier, Peter, when we were just talking off air, you know, it's much cooler today. What impact will that actually have on these tyres? I mean, having said that, obviously the sun's out, it's now beating down on most parts of the track. it will be heating up fairly quickly throughout this race, won't it, or will it?
Well, I think the track temperature is still going to be cool. It's going to be cooler than it was, of course, through Friday, where we didn't get on the track until midday. They have the experience, of course, in the pre-season test of what it was like, and they know that it is tough in these conditions. So it really is a question of them finding their way, and as Benyat said, looking after the tyres so you've got something to race with at the end of the race.
There you go then, 16 degrees Celsius the track temperature then, so decidedly chilly for the riders there then. So starting from pole position mentioned earlier, Carlos Cano, the Spaniard, blazing pace in the sunshine over Friday in qualifying, but yesterday in the wet finished up 18th. He was livid about it. David da Costa, also on the front row of the grid, got one singular point in 15th. So they will be looking to really make the very best of the opportunity they have now, with it being completely dry for racing here today.
Yeah, and I think it's good for the likes of Archie Smith, who didn't star in practice and qualifying. He just missed out on a point. You know, he finished 16th. He finished 16th yesterday. So I think that's given people like him a boost, and really can go into this race much more confident than they started yesterday.
Got to give hats off to Fernando Bejosa, though, starting from second on the grid. You know, the main rider from that front row who really made the best of those wet conditions, towing Benyat Fernandez all the way to the finish, only to get his pocket picked at the last moment. Benyat's taken that victory. He was fast in the dry as well, so this could be a big weekend for the Mallorcan. The number 69 in the middle of the front row, there he is.
And he admitted that, you know, maybe he made a mistake the way he ran it yesterday, but he said, I wasn't looking behind, I wasn't thinking about the guy behind me, I just wanted to concentrate on my race and doing it, and let the cards fall. Right, the lights are on. They're off and away. Another 14 laps of Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup action here at Jerez, on a blinding start for the number 69, Fernando Bejosa, yesterday's second place man. He led all the race and he's leading again today.
Yeah, and look at that, in second place, Carlos Cano, David da Costa. So your front row are all positions 1, 2 and 3 at the moment, but coming through, I think that was Marulanda into fifth. We got two fallers already. Sullivan Mounty is down, and I think that's Guillaume Plong maybe as well.
And they've got to disentangle those motorcycles. That's going to take him a little while to sort that out. An absolute disaster for the British rider and the Frenchman.
Yeah, unfortunately, two third-year riders down and out. Very, very first sector. That's a big shame for them.
And Da Costa up into second place, but he's drifted wide and already lost that second place.
Right, the number 27 up there already. That was a blinding start there as well. Who was I looking at? Sorry, yeah, Marulanda. Yeah, completely confused by that.
And he's run wide.
Oh, goodness me,
He's way off the
wrong.
track. So he's lost about 10 places, hasn't he? So he's gone from second to 10th in one corner.
Yeah, well, Marulanda yesterday, big crash for him, but was all okay. Thankfully, back on the bike racing here today. Benyat Fernandez round the outside then. So clearly into turn 6, they all used each other as braking markers, which went wrong for about half the pack.
But it's Capuchin who has the advantage, but only briefly. He's passed now by Travis Borg. Borg picks up the lead, but he drives nearly loses it, but it's the 23 of Travis Borg, the Maltese rider, who has the advantage.
Capuchin coming through from 7th place on the grid. A disaster for him yesterday. 23rd he was in the wet weather conditions, so up there into second place. This is the rider that we really had big hopes for in Rookies Cup this year. Second place, but Travis Borg will lead them through the final turn, and he will lead a Rookies Cup race across the line for the very first time. A Maltese rider, I bet that's one for the history books, isn't it? Gotta be, surely.
Carlos Cano back into second place, but Capuchin is rare. They're side by side. Capuchin is late on the brakes into the first right-hander to pick up second place again.
And Benyat Fernandez up from 8th position on the grid. Yesterday's winner, looking strong here in the dry as well, up into 4th place. So good stuff from our two-time Rookies Cup winner.
And David da Costa going backwards there. He's dropped way back to about 10th place. Not what he wanted to see at all.
There's Guillaume Plonk on the back of the scooter, heading back to the pits. He'll be gutted about that. Here's what happened. Mounsey and Plonk. Oh, I think it was unfortunately Mounsey up the inside, and down they went. Yeah, oh, he got bumped by somebody else there, someone with a pink helmet. a variety of pink helmets there. Couldn't quite make out who it was, but...
A disastrous weekend for Guillaume Planck, then the Frenchman. A technical issue yesterday and a fall today. 0 from the first round. He's got to bounce back from that in his 3rd season of Rookies Cup action.
Just in the back of shot there, I think that was David da Costa heading a bit argy-bargy with somebody there. As we see Beñat Fernandez going up the inside of Travis Borg, but not, he maintains the line. Goodness me, cuts his nose off right there. Fantastic. And we've got Singapong in the mix now. First podium yesterday for Singapong, an emotional podium for the Thai rider, and he's already in contention for the win here today in the dry.
But it is the 17 of Yaroslav Karpushin, the Kyrgyzstan rider, who has the advantage. Oh, but almost lost it there. There's no really, there's not room really, but Travis Borg tried to get inside him through that fast right-hander. Hard on the brakes now into the last left. Who's going to have the advantage?
God, Travis up the inside, round the outside, leads them once again through the final turn. Absolutely brilliant from the number 23.
And Kiatsong Singapong, Mike, you using all the road and a bit of the curb as well. Now, what did I say? I said Beñat said he was going to conserve the tyres. He doesn't look like he's conserving the tyres at the moment.
No, certainly not. Those laps are pretty thick and fast. Marolander, the fastest rider of the lot, at 1:49.7 that time around then. Most of the top guys all running 1:50.
Well, and now there's a split now, because we've got the number 23 has now leapt ahead as Travis Borg. He's opened up and
Pugliese, that was Pugliese going wide and onto the gravel.
Where was he going?
Well, he clearly saw Lucas and Sasha Kunin yesterday and thought, yeah, I'll do some motocross.
That's right. So Marolander, the fastest lap. I mean, we saw him go from 2nd to about 10th, but he's bounced back from that.
Right, down into turn 6 we come again then. It was Travis Borg leading, and now I think his Karpushin has gone up the inside once again then. It is the 17, the Kyrgyzstani rider, Beñat Fernandez, yesterday's winner, 3rd place. Then you have Carlos Cano Bujosa, 2nd yesterday, 2nd on the grid. David Acosta, also on the front row, down in 6th.
But Travis Borg there, the Maltese 16-year-old, he will not be denied, will he? He's pushing very hard in 2nd place.
I've got to admit, Peter, this is a really delightful surprise for me, because I wouldn't have picked Borg as being so strong so early in his Rookies Cup career, but that is a very impressive performance so far. Real hats off to him, and he's looking to try and go up the inside once again on one of the fastest points of the track, probably one of the fastest corners on the calendar, and he does! He goes through up the inside of Karpushin again, who gets pushed back along with Cano. It's now Beñat Fernandez in 2nd.
Karpushin loses 4 places through those fast right-handers. It really shouldn't be happening, but it is, and it is the Maltese cross that leads across the line.
Again, through that final corner, Travis Borg is absolutely railing the turn, as we have a yellow flag in sector 4. 27, Marolander up the inside. There's Luca Agostinelli, who's gone down, which is a big shame for him. The number 9 got 9th place yesterday.
My goodness, 11 laps still to go.
My voice is already struggling.
Yeah, and there is Agostinelli walking. Luca Agostinelli, the 18-year-old Vietnamese, walking off.
Oh, down on the curbs, unfortunately. Could have been a bit wide or something like that. Those curbs are rather fierce around there. They will unsettle a small capacity motorcycle, or any motorcycle for that matter, like that. Onto the back straight we come then, Peter.
And the number 23 still has the advantage. It's Travis Borg, the Maltese rider, but he's so much under pressure from Karpushin, and up the inside, Beñat Fernandez.
Marolander, the Colombian, up into 4th position, just behind Karpushin still.
And it's there's nothing in it for the first, 18 riders according to the timing screen.
I think so. So it was Tinez who caused a crash earlier on then. Not sure which one. Well, no, it would have been Mounsey and Plunk, unfortunately. So double long lap penalty for Kerman. Tinez, who came 5th place yesterday, the Venezuelan, kicking off his 2nd year in Rookies Cup in fine style, but not so much here today.
And fastest lap of the race so far, back in 16th place for Pirelli. Marolander, with his fastest lap, has come back from that about 10th place up into 4th.
So, looking down the order then. So this leading group is around about, down to Christian Daniel Jr. in 13th position.
Beñat Fernandez, the man who told me he was going to conserve tyres, is now leading, and it doesn't look like much like conservation, but he has the advantage over Travis Borg
who overtakes
momentarily.
him, into turn one as they come, and they all looking at the screen. Look at that, Beñat Fernandez. Bit of Brian Uriarte, Alvaro Carpe type race strategy going on there. Having the presence of mind to look to his right, to look to the TV screen, to see just how big this group is before then breaking down into turn two.
Right, they're lapping at the 1:49s. Let's see, what was the qualifying?
Peter, this is what happened with Tinez. Is that we're looking back at Mounsey and Plonk. Tinez is going to go up the inside, the 77, and out of control, and bump down they go. They will not be best pleased with him. So unfortunately, that kind of mistake, yes, it was just an error, no intention, but still, you've got to take more care in these opening laps.
Right, so pole time was 1:48.3. The last lap was 1:49.8, so they're not on record-breaking qualifying time at the moment, but still plenty of action left. Travis Borg it is that has the slightest advantage.
Really, I mean, I can't understate just how impressive this is from Borg and the 27 of Marulander behind them. First-year rookies riders. It's as if they've been racing here for 2 or 3 years already, or it's the end of their first season. Absolutely brilliant. Up in the 5th spot as well, Peter, the number 32. Kiandra Ramadipa, Indonesia, stand up. You got another hero for you after Veda Pratama last year. Kiandra finished up in 7th place yesterday. Look at this today in contention for the podium.
Yeah, hard on the brakes. Who's going to come out in front? It's the 23 of Travis Borg who still has the advantage. He will not be denied at the moment, but into second, Beñat Fernandez is there, yesterday's winner, but he is 3 of them abreast across the start and finish line.
Someone we've not mentioned so far, 5th place across the line, the 11 of David Gonzalez. That was Beñat Fernandez having a bit of an issue through turn one. David Gonzalez up there into 5th position. A quiet race so far, not sure whereabouts he's been, but he's now back up into 5th position.
You can see Carpucci in the white helmet there has been pushed back to about 8th place.
Same with Carlos Cano in 9th place. I mean, given his pre-season form and the hype around him, I certainly expected more from the Mercian here today.
Right, it really is, incredible to think that a lot of these guys running up front, it's in their first season, but you really wouldn't know it, would you? The 23 has the advantage. Travis Borg, 16-year-old from Malta. And of course, there's not that much road racing goes on in Malta. He said very early on, he could ride dirt bikes and muck around, but when it came to doing anything serious, he had to get out of there. Oh my goodness! That was the 69 of Fernando Berjosa, yesterday's second place man. They're using a bit of the curb.
And then some.
And again.
Really trying to hang it out wide to overtake these two at the front, isn't he? Goodness me. Look at that. Who was that up the inside? It was Marulander into the lead then. The Colombian leads for the first time. We've not said that since David Alonso. Back in 2021?
Yeah, well, and the number 11 of David Gonzalez, he was frustrated with his 4th place yesterday. He's lying 4th at the moment. He's going to want to do better than that. He really was frustrated yesterday, the way things turned out. 23 again. It is Travis Borg.
He is so determined to make sure he crosses the line every single time. And do you know what's interesting here, Peter? No one's able to drag him across the line coming out of that final corner. So I wonder if he's thinking already, right, guard my line, I'm fastest through the final turn at the moment. I'll be doing the same thing once again all the way to the finish.
Well, one of the things I was talking to Danny and the technical staff before the race, and they're all running the same gearing. So quite often there's there are other options for gearing, but everybody's running the same gearing today. So there's not a difference there when it comes to who's got the top speed or whatever down the start and finish.
Beñat Fernandez up the inside of Fernando Berjosa. Them two going head-to-head yesterday in the wet, now same again in the dry.
And that's the second fastest part of the track. It's 200 kilometres an hour, 125 miles an hour on the brakes there. Here it is the fastest part, 210 kilometres an hour, 130 miles an hour at the end of the main straight.
Berjosa leads from Beñat Fernandez. Kiandra Ramadipa in 3rd position. Marulander, the Colombian, in 4th position. Borg back to 5th now.
And Ramadipa there with a really nice dive up the inside on the number 32 to take 2nd place.
Martinez yet to take that long lap penalty, the first of his long lap penalties, I believe. Down in 9th position at the moment. Yes, he surely hasn't taken it, because if he had, he would not be in this group anymore.
And of course, he gets a warning on his dash about that, and then you know his rider's helper can hold out a board. There's another board, there's official board, so he's really should have no excuse.
One now. Yeah, doing the first one now, peeling off. But got to make sure he sticks within the white lines. See, oh, and no, he's incomplete, unfortunately. So he's on the green. He'll have 3, and unfortunately. This is all part of the learning curve, isn't it, Peter? And
Beñat Fernandez has a look at the inside, and yes, he grabs the lead. Yesterday's winner is in front again. 7 laps to go. We just passed into the second half of the race.
Oh, Ramadipa around the outside of Travis Borg there into turn 2. Really made him sit up and flinch there. That was absolutely cracking. And look at that, we're looking at Marulanda now in 4th position.
Everybody off on the blue, but the blue is okay. It's not green.
Oh, Ramadipa into the lead then. Ramadipa into the lead. That is brave as it gets through turn 5.
That was great, wasn't it? He got in there, he went a big move, and yet he managed to get it turned, and he obviously didn't suffer on the way out. But there is the 72 of David Da Costa. He was languishing back. He's moved well up ahead. And
Borg's got an issue. Borg's got an issue. He's out, unfortunately. That is gutting for the Maltese rider. Oh, dearie me. Oh, what a shame, because he was having such a cracker. His chain's gone, Peter. His chain's gone.
Yeah, it is indeed.
Oh, what a shame. That really is. Goodness me. I was just about to say as well, Keandra Ramadipa up into the lead once again. The one-time podium finisher. Race 1 in the Sachsenring. 2nd place last year. A couple of fourths to go with it, but no wins as yet. But Indonesia, you've got another rider here that you can cheer for. Fond memories of Veda Pratama last year. Already a podium finisher in the Moto3 World Championship. And now look at this of Ramadipa.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Up the inside is the number 7 of Beñat Fernandez, but he is in 2nd place because the 32 of Ramadipa has the advantage across the start and finish, with now just 6 laps remaining.
Bahosa looks up the inside of Beñat Fernandez. That was brilliant to maintain his line, continue the speed, not give any invitation back, or does he? Because Beñat goes straight back at him. Wow, look at that. They are not giving a single quarter inch to each other, and he's hanging him around the outside again. Goodness me. That's as tough as it gets in Rookies Cup. That is on the limit.
Elbows out, and that's given the advantage to Ramadipa. Now just a little bit of a breathing space. The number 7, though, Beñat Fernandez, is now secure in 2nd place. He wants to pick up the slipstream down the back straight there as they go up through the gearbox quickly into 6th gear, flat out, and he's not sticking his legs out as he was yesterday to slow himself down.
Yeah, this is racing, Peter. This is racing. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And once again, this group all the way down to 12th place. Christian Daniel, 1 second off the lead. 12 riders fighting for the win now.
And number 7 briefly had the advantage, but it now is back in the hands of Keandra Ramadipa. And up the inside goes the 69 of Fernando Bahosa.
Let's get a look at this replay, Peter. Look at this. This is just as tight as it gets. Beñat Fernandez absolutely not giving a single inch. Look how close they get. Rubbing fairings, leaning on each other as much as you possibly can. Wow.
Elbow. Give it a bit of an elbow.
And I tell you what, that was, if those are some bigger curves, Beñat was not making it through that corner. He was very fortunate there.
Superb stuff. Right, so now, and there up on the green is the 97 of Ryoto Ogiwara. I don't know how many times he's touched the green so far, but he's got to watch out for that, otherwise he's going to have a penalty.
Yeah, Ogiwara, a really exciting prospect as well. Had a great ride yesterday, 11th place finish.
Asia Talent Cup winner, of course, as I said yesterday, with 8 consecutive victories. So he's certainly a star on the other side of the world.
Look at him go there, the 97 then. Last time around, set a 150.6. The rider behind him, Alfonso Dakigan, 149.3, the fastest rider on track.
Right, it's now the 32 has the advantage. Ramadipa, but only just. Down the inside on the brakes, Beñat Fernandez. He outbrakes him last lap. Will he do it again? Yes, he's done it again.
Whoa, Beñat Fernandez going very wide indeed. He broke as late as he possibly could, and he's getting hung out to dry by everybody else. Beñat Fernandez taken wide there. Who's that up into third? That was Ramadipa, sorry.
And he went from first to sixth with that outbreaking himself.
Pugliese up into fourth now, Peter. The 31, the Italian who had a terrible time of it yesterday, finishing up in 19th.
An interesting Karpushin, who you know, featured at the front looking so strong early on. He's back in 9th place. Is, you know, there's still 5 laps, 4.5 laps to go. So is he just sort of relaxing a little bit there, knowing that the others are really not that far in front?
Off the back of the group now, Martinez has still got to complete his long lap penalties. One more to do now. I'm sure it will still be, will he be peeling off and doing it again? I'm not sure, we'll see. But look at them all jostling through the final turn. Bahosa will lead them across the line from Marulanda, Ramadipa, Pugliese, Fernandez, Singapore. They're in 6th place.
Now, you know, none of these riders want it to go like this to the last lap. It really does just become a lottery. You can't have any kind of a plan on the last lap when there's, you know, 10 or 18 guys battling for the lead. Someone is going to try and make a break for it. There's 4 laps to go. Let's see if anybody has any pace up their sleeve. And really, I wonder if Beñat Fernandez has been doing any time of conservation. It didn't look like it. No, and it doesn't look like it from these guys either, just skating all over the curbs as well. Through turn 5, they do have a bit of breathing space, but will they get reeled in down the back straight now? 3.5 laps to go, Peter. But they're still about 2 seconds off their qualifying pace. And now, is that because the track is still cold, or have they taken the best out of the tyres already? Beñat Fernandez up again into 3rd place. A recovery after his mistake here. 1 lap ago, and there's a big set of jostling in the background of shot there. Dakigan up into 9th place. Philippines, there's your man. With Christian Daniel Jr., the American, just behind as well. Ojiwara in 11th there. Carlos Cano, your pole sitter, really getting beaten up in this race. 12th position for the Mercian. Right, there's the number 11 of David Gonzalez. And he was 4th yesterday, but the leader is the man who led so many laps yesterday, Fernando Bahosa. He finished 2nd. He's obviously put the hammer down. Now, can he try and break this huge group into smaller packs? Yeah, you've got a second group there being led, I think, by Dakigan from 9th place down. And the 27 there, Marulanda, he might have touched the green that time. Not absolutely sure about that, but these guys have really got to watch that out. But it is the 69 who has the advantage, Fernando Bahosa. Beñat Fernandez on the chase, as is Pugliese then. Singapore in 2nd place. The Thai rider just gets pushed down to 3rd, or does he? Ooh. Because look at him leaning on Beñat Fernandez there. He gets pushed back down to 3rd finally. But Bahosa getting some breathing space now, so the chase begins. Can't let him get too far away. He cannot break the slipstream. Fernandez off the track once again. So he's obviously, Bernat does not have a lot in hand. He was, you know, he ran way off the track there, trying to hang on to Bahosa. And Bahosa's put the hammer down. This is where he wants to break the pack. He doesn't want it. No one wants a 10-man battle for the lead into the last corner. Look at them fan out, 5 abreast in towards turn 6. All skating all over the place now as well. That was Singapore going way wide. And this time Beñat Fernandez was much more controlled at the end of the back straight, didn't outbrake himself, and has settled into a very good, strong 2nd place with his eyes on his fight battle man from yesterday, Bahosa. So the back of this group then is Giulio Pugliese. It seems to be the top 8 that will be fighting for this win. 2.25 laps left. This is the final very, very fast home stretch, all leading towards that crescendo of the final corner. The last overtaking opportunity. Bahosa, the 69, keeps it calm through there. Christian Daniel leading the chasing pack then, as fast as he possibly can. He's got Pugliese for the proverbial rabbit to the greyhound. He's got Carlos Cano with him. We're on board with Yaroslav Kar pushing the Kyrgyzstani rider then. The number 17 in 11th spot, looking back at Carlos Cano from Christian Daniel. Right, the lead still is with Verhoeven, but he's lost the advantage that he'd eked out for himself. The pack has closed up on him, being chased by Marulander and by the rest of the pack there. So he tried to split them up, but he hasn't really achieved that. Just 2 laps to go. Now, yesterday, the number 7, Beñat Fernandez, he said, I knew I was quicker through the last part of the lap. Well, that was in the wet. I don't know whether he's got the same advantage over Bujosa there here in the dry. 69 it is that lead. Fernando Bujosa, the 16-year-old Spaniard.
Onto the blue even for Bujosa, looking across at Marulander then, breaking down into turn 6, a dress rehearsal for a wild overtaking move potentially as someone gets pushed around there. I think it was Singapong going up the inside of Ramadipa.
3 abreast. Oh, that is so tight. Marulander now has the advantage.
This is brilliant from the Colombian. Oh, who's that down? It's David Gonzalez has gone down, I think. It's the number 11. Oh, what a shame for the 11. Oh, dearie me, he'll be ruining that mistake.
Yeah, and that really hasn't helped things at all because there was already a sort of a breakaway group. David Da Costa is at the back of that moment. Now that is, what, 6 guys now who are surely going to sort it out. Just a lap and a couple of corners to go.
So, 6 riders are in contention for the win. Marulander will lead them through the final corner for the penultimate time, but not for long, because he loses the front end, loses it all, and on to the start and finish straight again. It's all to play for. Singapore and Bujosa come together. Beñat Fernandez will lead them across for the penultimate time. Ramadipa in second place. Look at this, Peter. It's all on the line. Rookies Cup Race 2, round 1, and we've got an absolute blockbuster on our hands.
And Beñat Fernandez has the advantage. We'll see if he's got anything left in those tyres, but in fact that leading group of 6 has been caught by the rest of them. It could be even more really as they slipstream down the back straight on the final lap, but it is the number 7 Beñat Fernandez who has the slightest advantage over the number 23 of Travis Borg.
If there was one question that we had for Beñat Fernandez after yesterday, it was when can you win in the dry sunshine, and he says that day is going to be today, but there's still about 6-7 corners left to decide. He's got Ramadipa on his tail, Bujosa's there. They fan out towards the grass, dart across, back onto the asphalt, down into turn 6 they come.
And it is the number 7 still has the advantage. Does he outbrake himself?
No!
But it's so close behind Ramadipa. Bujosa right there behind him.
David Da Costa as well is in contention for this. He started 3rd on the grid. He's been playing it very nice and quiet. If Ramadipa looks up the inside as well, but no such room at the end this time around. The overtaking opportunities are running out.
And it is the 69 who has the advantage for the moment. Fernando Bujosa, just the fast right-handers to go, and then that all-important tight left.
Oh, goodness me. So here we go then. Penultimate corners coming up. And Bujosa leads them from Beñat Fernandez and Ramadipa in 3rd. Take it away, Peter, and it all comes down to this.
Just the way it was yesterday, with Bujosa has the advantage, but number 7 goes up the inside. Oh! Can he drift wide? Can he hold it? Sure, no, but he loses.
Who is it?
Up the inside.
It's Ramadipa leading them. Ramadipa, he squirts away. Is he going to win?
Yes, it's going to be Ramadipa.
Ramadipa! Yes! What a win! Wowee! That was brilliant. Ramadipa from kart pushing. Where did he come from? Marulander in 3rd. So Beñat Fernandez and Bujosa thinking about each other. They lost it all.
Yeah, that's right. And they finished 4th and 5th.
Wow, what a race that was. Ramadipa wins then. How brilliant was that?
Absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? Really? Goodness gracious me.
Oh, goodness me. My voice is in absolute tatters.
Well, his best result, last year was 2nd in the first race in the Sachsenring, and he's now gone one better to claim his first Rookies Cup victory. Absolutely superb.
His good mate Dak Egan, who finished up in 11th place, wishes it congratulations. Christian Daniel finished up in 10th place. He wishes him congratulations as well. Goodness me. Well, I tell you what, you know, Indonesia has some real stars in their hands at the moment. You've got Mario Adji doing the business in Moto2, Veda Pratama, a real superstar from Rookies Cup last year, and now Ramadipa as well. The second race, finishing 16 positions ahead of where he started.
Yeah. And I bet you that Beñat Fernandez really thought he'd done all he had to, because he did. He went up the inside just as he did yesterday, and yet somehow Ramadipa was inside him in the corner suddenly from nowhere. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely cracking. There's Singapong then. Singapong finished up in 7th place. He could be happy enough with that. As we see Dakigan doing stand-up wheelies alongside Ramadipa and Beñat Fernandez. Carl pushing then. Second place. Where did he come from? Yeah. Honestly, I can't wait to watch it back and to see him come through in those final laps, because he was in that second group initially. Yeah. So that second group managed to catch them.
That's right. Yeah, as I said, we just saw that at the coming in that last lap, that it seemed to have split. The top 6 had gone away, and then suddenly they just messed each other up a bit, and the lead evaporated.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, the 16-year-old from Kyrgyzstan. I mean, he'd featured so strongly early in the race, and then he just seemed to drift off, didn't he?
Yeah.
And but he was there when it mattered.
Well, there's Matteo Marulanda, 3rd position today then. He's got to be absolutely delighted with that, I hope. We're going to see him come into Parc Fermé. Absolutely cracking. Ramadipa probably in some form of tears. So delighted with that. Well pumped. Look at him. Absolutely delighted. Who's that wishing him? A Singapong there. Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, and as you made the good point yesterday, Matt, these guys come across the globe, to strange languages, strange food, strange everything, strange culture, and, to perform like this, absolutely sensational, isn't it?
Exactly. It's not just one language, it's 2 when they live in Spain and things like that, and a lot of the crews are Spanish as well. It's such a culture shock for them, and they leave everything behind. Some of them won't see their families for 6 months or so at a time when they're racing over here. Especially with the price of jet fuel going up as well. There is Mario Aggi, former Red Bull rookie, Moto2 rider as well, wishing his compatriot a big congratulations. And there's Colombia's finest, David Alonso, congratulating Carl Pushin, and I'm sure he'll be congratulating his fellow countryman in Matteo Marulanda as well. So here's what happened at some point on the last lap.
Going on to the last lap. Yeah, there's the 69 of Fernando Barrosa. And he has the advantage there, but it really looked to me as though Beñat Fernandez was placing himself superbly. We've just got the fast right-handers, but Beñat comes down the inside.
Oh, the car pushing was in the front group. He was staying very quiet.
Yeah, but it's, but Ramadipa just switched from outside to inside on the second half of the corner, actually, to get on the drive on the way out. And he had it then. Yeah, he's going away, in fact. They're not catching him on the slipstream. He had such a good drive, he switched from outside to just duck inside Beñat Fernandez on the second half of the final corner.
Oh, he's well chuffed, isn't he? Yeah, brilliant. Just, what a cracking race. What a great way to kick off our 20th season then. So 3rd place was Matteo Marulanda. From the gravel yesterday to Parc Fermé today. What a story that was. How's he feeling, Dominica?
Huge congratulations. Unbelievable performance. Tell us, how was the race and how do you feel?
I feel super good because it's my first race and I'm so happy. I do a very good race and finally I'm in the podium. I'm so happy, and I want to thank to the Red Bull Rookies Cup for this opportunity, to my helper, my family, and to all the people that support me. Thank you.
Nice to see David Alonso supporting you as well, huh?
Yes, it was really good to see David because he's from Colombia too, so I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. And we're going to see a lot more of him, really. He's really obviously jumped into the Rookies Cup and very much a star in the making.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. You really can't tell who's going to be doing the business all year round this year. That will be the key, won't it? As we see Jaroslav Karpushin down at Parc Fermé. Domi, how does he feel about that one?
Jaroslav, wonderful race. Really difficult the last corner.
The race didn't go quite as planned. I had some difficulties going out of the group, but I just, in one moment after yesterday's kind of disaster, to be honest, I also decided to just lock in and go for everything. And yeah, just sometimes I had to send it and pray for the best. But in the end, I'm happy with the results. For sure, I did many mistakes, but still, I mean, there is always a lot to improve. I'm so grateful for everybody who supported me during this way, during this journey, during my trainings. And yeah, for all my sponsors, I just want to say thank you so much. And yeah, quite happy with the result, and I gotta keep going.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Of course, his best result last year was third in the second race at the Sachsenring, and now he's grabbed a second. Surely it can't be long before he gets that victory. Really is a class act.
Yeah, but lots of his trainer Sergio Mora really rates him super highly. So he's really strong contender for some good results going forward. But what about your winner, Keandra Ramadipa? Brilliant stuff today. What did you make of it, Dommy?
Incredible race, huge congratulations. You did it. You won race 2 of the Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup.
Yeah, this race is so incredible for me. I feel so strong in this race. I fought back from P17 on the grid, and I try to manage the tire also. I try to go forward every lap, and in 5 laps to go, I managed to be in the front, and then in 3 laps to go, I little bit drop back position, but I try to calm myself, and yeah, I try to go forward, and in the last lap, very good momentum from me, and I can stay in the top 3, and then in the last corner, I try to keep my line inside, and I try to make a good acceleration. Well, because I don't know, maybe I make a miss gear in the straight, but finally I finished P1. This is my first win. Thank you to all my sponsor. Thank you to my family. Ayah, ini buat Ayah. Thank you for all the Indonesian people to always support me. I feel so happy, and I can't thank enough to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great, and as I say, you know, his best result was the second at Sachsenring race run last year, and he was had a bit of an up and down year, didn't he? Which is not to be only to be expected really in the first season. Yeah. But it sounds as though, as he said, he controlled himself, made a couple of mistakes there in the race, but then got control of himself, and really that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, he really was coming on strong towards the end of the year. After that podium, a couple of 4th places, a 5th place, 7th as well. So I think Keandra Ramadipa has arrived well and truly in Rookies Cup, hasn't he? So keep an eye out for him for the rest of the season. He got first from Carpush and Marulanda. Beñat Fernandez was 5th ahead of Bahosa and Da Costa. Singapong 7th ahead of Pugliese. Ojiwara 9th place. Great stuff in the Japanese rider. Christian Daniel 10th. Dakigan in 11th. Kratokville in 12th place. Borelli 13th. Cano 14th. He will be disappointed with that, I think. Kerr Martinez 15th ahead of Tibor Varga, Afonso Almeida, Ethan Sparks, Alejandro Fernandez, Jurien van Krooten and Archie Schmidt, the last of the finishers here today. 3 non-finishers, Gonzalez, Borg, Agustinelli, 5 in Mounsey and Plonk as well. All wishing them the very best. What has that done to the championship then? Beñat Fernandez will lead us into Le Mans in a couple of weeks ahead of Ramadipa and Bahosa. Your top 3. Singapong 4th and Carpush and Marulanda. Christian Daniel 7th overall ahead of David Gonzalez and Kerr Martinez. And Finn Kratokville in 10th place. Sorry, I was getting confused. We used to only go to 9th, didn't we? Now we've gone to 10th. It's confusing me. All these changes. Giulio Pugliese 13th, Agustinelli. Borg, unfortunately, no finish today, but that is a rider that you've got to keep an eye out for later on. Chains attached, he was very strong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, he really, as he surprised you, I said, you know, you had the feeling that he thought more of himself than he was going to produce, but he is producing.
Well, you never know with riders, do you?
No.
So as when they come in, so I'm really, really pleased for him because that's an absolute cracking performance. Long may it continue.
Yeah, confidence is a good thing, and he's got that, and he's living up to it. So there we have the first guys on the podium. He's obviously not that used to it because he goes to the wrong place. But there's Karpushin come on to pick up the second place. Marilando and Karpushin on the podium already, shaking hands. And there we have our winner, Ramadipa, Kiandra Ramadipa, the 16-year-old Indonesian, climbs on the podium. And the trophy today being awarded by that great Red Bull athlete, the Lithuanian stunt rider Arūnas Gibetha. And he really is a fantastic stunt rider who's been thrilling the crowd around the circuit here and around the town and the area in the last day or so, with some absolutely stunning stunt riding. He started riding when he was 10 years old, had a go at racing, but realised that stunt riding was really what made it work for him, and he's been concentrating on that, and he's absolutely brilliant. Arūnas Gibetha, so any chance you have to see him, do so.
Time for something very special, the Indonesian national anthem here in Spain for Kiandra Ramadipa.
Fuerte el aplauso para los integrantes del podium en esta carrera 2 de la...
So great to see him able to sing his own national anthem there.
Belting it out.
That's right, and of course, you know, all those different nationalities, Colombia, Indonesia and Kyrgyzstan represented, 19 different nationalities represented in this year's Rookies Cup, 46 in the history of Rookies Cup. But the next race is at Le Mans on May 9th and 10th. All races on Red Bull TV and YouTube, but until Le Mans, it's goodbye from Matt Dunn and myself, Peter Clifford.
These are the highlights from Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup Round 1, Race 2 at the Circuito de Jerez and El Nieto. It was all dry in comparison to yesterday, but very, very cool indeed. And we were about to see an absolute blockbuster to kick off the second race in our 20th season. Yesterday's second place finisher, Fernando Bajosa, got off to a rocket start into first place, and we already had a couple of fallers at the very second turn after coming together between the Venezuelan Martinez, Sullivan Mounty and Guillaume Plonk. Travis Borg was a main feature in the race until his chain came off. What a disaster for his race-winning chances. But this was coming down into the final complex of corners. David Gonzalez goes down, a key championship contender as well. And into the final turn, Bajosa versus Fernandez like yesterday, but up the inside went your eventual winner, Kiandra Ramadipa. It was all jostling to the line, but the Indonesian squirted away across the line and wins his first Rookies Cup race. What a ride by the Indonesian. We'll see you again in Le Mans in a couple of weeks. Goodbye for now.